Good morning from Scouse Farm on a windy weekend here in Liverpool, and I wanted to show you the damage done by the wind to the tomatoes, but I don't think it's terminal. So let's go round to the one at the back, which is most affected. As you'll see, it was clipped here. I moved the clip up, but the plan, it was clipped up to here, to this point, and then the plan was to just let it fall as a vine towards the floor, and it was doing well until that storm recently. And you'll see now it's blown over and it's split here. So just before that, just after that clip, we've got a split, but it's not all the way through, so it's more of a twist. So it twisted in the wind and then just fell at this point, flopped over. But I think it might be all right because the tomatoes have already formed, so I'm going to leave them, and we've got quite a few good healthy looking tomatoes under here on these trusses that are forward of the split. But that's not ideal because it'll rot. But with the tomatoes already being formed, I've just pinched off the bottom bits, so I'll show you now. You can see there was more growing that were flowers than hadn't yet formed into small tomatoes. So that one there is the last one, and I've pinched off the rest of them, and I've done the same on that one there. As you can see, pinched them off from there, and we've got one hiding under here, which is the lowest one, so they should still ripen, and this is the largest on this plant. So that's what happens. But tomatoes are vines, they do crawl across the floor, so I'm hoping that that isn't going to stop anything further forward from ripening. And this one, it's been okay, it's leaned over quite a bit, but again, we've already got tomatoes on the trusses there, and I did pinch off the end to stop any further leaf growth, and you can see that there. So they've been pinched off to stop any further growth, which means that whatever's on there already will just ripen, and there'll be no energy going into sending out more roots, leaves, trusses, or any side shoots. So I think we might be all right. That's a bit weird, isn't it? It's like a little pimple on the tomato there, but they have fallen over. The wind has been terrible, but I reckon we're still going to get a good harvest off of these, and they'll ripen up. And if not, I've still got the ones in the back in the pot that you've seen on a recent video, so that should see me through. And I'm going to harvest some beetroot today, so if you come along, you'll remember the pathetic carrot harvest from here. So the carrots were pretty rubbish, but they did make a good addition to the Scouse Farm Stew. And if you've not seen that video, have a look at the two videos about the stew that are done on the channel. It's the recent videos, so they're there in the list. And the rest of the carrots, it's probably just mainly top growth, but I'm just going to leave them, see how we get on with these. And I did plant a cabbage, so we've got two cabbages there. There's one and there's another one, and we'll see if they start forming up and if they can survive the winter, and then I'll get a spring cabbage harvest off these two. And a few more carrots have started poking through in the front, but it might be a bit late for them to start developing properly. But again, I don't mind, I'll just leave them in and try and keep things in the ground all year round. As you can see here, we've got the spring onions doing okay. There's a leek in between them. This is a leek, and we've got a leek there next to the nasturtium flowers. You can see the nasturtiums there, and then we've got two leeks there, one there, and well, I think there's another one somewhere hiding in there. And if you remember from another recent vid showing you the cauliflower damage in the back, this one, although it's getting battered by caterpillars, it has formed a curd or a head, and that, although it's a slightly discoloured one, that happens because of the sun. So when the sun's directly hitting the top of the cauliflower itself, it'll darken, but that's still perfectly edible. It's not massive, but I'll give it another few weeks to see if it swells up a bit. But that's exactly what is supposed to happen, like a tight knit clump, and as long as they don't separate like the one in the back did, that's going to be good food for me. And let's go round to the beetroot. And I think today's a good day to harvest the beetroot. I'd loosened it off just before I started the video. It was really easy to do. I just multi-sown these beetroot. They weren't planted individually, but this one has grown on its own. So that is a brilliant harvest. I am delighted. I mean, and just look how little space it took up in the bed. So it didn't go very deep. Literally, that was as easy as I've just shown you now to pull it out. And that will be absolutely gorgeous food. And for anyone interested in like physical fitness or exercise science, if you use beetroot, and a lot of people crush it and blend it into beetroot juice, put it in a juicer, then it assists the body to create nitric oxide, and that dilates your blood vessels and makes your blood flow a lot quicker and gives you better performance, lots of energy. So get yourself some beetroot and then have it a few hours before you do any strenuous training, and it might give you a little bit of help. And the rest of them we've got, let's pull that out. They were multi-sown, so I'm going to leave them a little bit longer, and once I've eaten this one I'll come back and harvest them too. I think there's 2 left there and they're both swelling up nicely, so they're ready to go as well. Get in there, it's hard to see, it's like a little jungle. There we go. So we've got another 2 beetroot ready to go. And the last thing I want to show you before I end the video and getting out the wind is the compost heap again. And my new compost heap at the back here, I turned it once and the stuff has been in there less than a month, the majority of material, because I've not long had it. As you'll know if you've been watching the channel, this was a freebie on Gumtree, so I went to collect it. Someone was giving it away for free and I filled it up full of privets from the neighbour. So you can see like the neighbour's privets over there. So when she cut all the privets, I get all of the leftovers and grass and everything else, and look how quick it's rotted down. I mean, it's ridiculous. It was so hot, it heated up really quick because I put a lot of material in to start it, and the heat, when I turned it, it was like steam coming out. And I've made another worm wedge there, so I've like moved all of the good stuff up to the side, the majority rotted material, and then I've left a gap down there. Difficult to see that it's hilled up with the camera, but all of the stuff here in this little section at the bottom is just what I've just pulled out of the pond. So you can see water lilies and a bit of the casualties off the tomato plant, and anything else that's a new addition, I'll just put it down to this side. And then once I've allowed the worms access to this side, so they've chomped away through a lot of the half rotted material, I'll just level it back out again and mix it all in and leave it. So that is going to be phenomenal compost next year. And this one, I'm not adding any more to this one. So let's have a look in there. Look at that, that is superb. That is absolutely gorgeous. That's usable right now, but I'm going to leave it another month or so, keep mixing it up a bit, and then that will be ideal to put down over winter on the garden beds. Right, as I say, I've just cleaned out some of these water lilies to give the fish a bit more room. You can see one of them at the back there just hiding. Give them a little bit of food now. See if I can do it with one hand. Hopefully don't drop the phone in the pond. Yeah, fishy, 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 fishy. A massive weird fly has just landed on my phone, and it's got strange yellow colours on its legs, and it's freaking me out. Get off. I don't know what that was. There you go. So there for the animal lovers amongst you. Got a nice little goldfish there. He's putting some weight on actually, he's doing well. And there's 5 fish in here for those who've not watched the channel before. I've got 3 shubuckins, which is the multicoloured ones. There's one there, see him then. And 2 goldfish. And they were very shy, but I think they've got used to me, so they come up knowing they're going to get some fish flakes. Let's lash a load in, let them fight. There you go. Thank you very much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hopefully in a few weeks or maybe a month we'll get to see some ripe tomatoes. Have yourselves a nice bank holiday weekend in the UK, the Scouse Farm. See you all again soon.